I'm Brett Roberts. I'm 22 years old and I race superbikes professionally in Spain. I first got into motocross when I was 13. I progressed through that until I went overseas to America for about 2.5 months training at the Millsaps training facility, primarily at the track, not really doing anything else except for training and dieting and gymming. When I got back to South Africa, my love for the sport wasn't at its peak. At that point, I was just looking for something else that I could get into, and superbikes popped up. It was just something that presented itself in front of me, and it happened at the right time and the right place. It's kind of just how I got into it. So, coming from motocross background, it's one of the best forms of bike fitness that you can get. Because it doesn't really matter how fit you are. If you're not bike fit, it doesn't really matter. So just the way that motocross, the bike moves around underneath you, it allows you to be comfortable when riding 600. With motocross, you can be a lot more creative, but the adrenaline rush from superbikes of going into a corner flat out or off any brakes, that sinking feeling you get in your stomach, you can't really get that anywhere else. The feeling of going 270, 290 down the straights and then braking 100 meters before a corner, you can't really simulate that. And then once you're finding the limit of how far you can really push the bike, how far you can push the tires, where the fastest speed is that you can go around the corners, that's what I live for. Being from Cape Town, I've gotten into kiteboarding, and I think it's extremely good cross training. It's completely individual, but you're also free to paint on your own canvas. You can do whatever you want. You can go where you want as long as there's wind. It's also extremely exhilarating, and the rush you get when you're doing jumps and tricks when the wind's blowing really hard it's an adrenaline rush that I don't think you can get from any other sports. Every Monday at Killarney, the go-karting track is open for the 150s and motards to go and train. And having a 150, I make use of that. This really helps my training because I can really feel where the limits are on a bike and what to do once I've gone over the limits, how not to crash. I go up to PE 8 hours up the coast, and I can get some really good training in there because the track is usually quite empty, so I can focus and target more areas of my riding. So I've recently just signed with Easy Race team, which is backed by BMW, and I'll be competing in the next generation class in the ESPK Spanish Championship. My goals for the year are to win the championship and hopefully compete in other races such as Junior GP to open opportunities for my career in the future. The racing this year wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the sponsors that I have backing me, namely Lights by Linear, Easy Race Team, Mass Motorsports and Dunlop.